All right, we're recording. Let's see what this is like. All right, welcome to the Butterfly Clinic. I hope everyone is healthy and safe. Thank you all so much for your support. It truly means a lot to all the coaches. And just as an example of what it's going to be like, I'll be talking on here. And then if someone needs to get let in, I'm going to go check here, just like here, just for like Miss Julia. So we're going to kind of be doing that as we go along. All right, so why is butterfly so important? Well, number one, it is the quote unquote hard stroke. Whenever you ask someone to do butterfly in practice or at a meet, it's always, oh, it's so hard. Hey, you want to do the 200 IM? But there's a 50 fly. Hey, if you want to do a 400 IM, oh, there's a 100 butterfly. So it is deemed the hard stroke. That must mean that people who love to do butterfly are the toughest swimmers. Not saying that's true. I'm just saying if it's the hard stroke, we got to get better at it. That means they're the tough people. Now, let's make sure we're all in. Looks like, boom. There we go. So if you look at the state, at 13 over state, there are 62 girls, 13, 14 girls that do the 100 fly. There's only 25 that do the 200 fly. Now remember, at 13 over state, at Recplex, Pleasant Prairie, it's top 20 make it back. So if you're in the 200 fly, you have a good chance of making it back. 100 fly, it's going to be tight. 13 over state for boys, there's 29 in the 100 fly, 15 in the 200 fly. So as long as you don't get DQ'd, you are guaranteed a spot back. Let's look at 12 and under state. There are 99, 11 and 12 girls in the 50 fly, 47 in the 100 fly, 23 in the 200 fly. And at 12 and under state, if we're at Schroeder, top 16 scores. So you have a much better chance of scoring the longer the distance goes. At 12 and under state for boys, there are 68 in the 50 fly, 39 in the 100 fly, 15 in the 200 fly. So once again, if you just complete it legally, you scored points for the team. So think about that. The longer the distance, the more you have chances have to make finals and score points for the team. And internationally and within our country, U.S. women have not won a medal in the 200 flies since 2000. Think about that. Top three the last 16 years, the last 4 Olympics. We have not had a medal in the 200 fly for U.S. women. That needs to change. And hopefully some people in here are going to change that. U.S. women have no world records in either fly race. It's the only stroke where we can say that. We have no world records in women butterfly. The U.S. men have won the 100 fly, Caleb Dressel. We used to have 2, but a Hungarian, Krzysztof Milak, broke Michael Phelps' 200 fly record. So we have 1 world record out of potential 4. So it's time to embrace the challenge of butterfly. It is the quote-unquote hard stroke, but it's time to embrace it and time to get better at it so we can start winning some medals and start scoring some points for Schroeder. So like we do for most strokes, we're going to get into the catechisms. We have some videos we're going to show. We'll kind of go through them. But first, let me just make sure everyone's in here. Got to get rows in. Perfect. Looks like we're all in. Excellent. So we're going to start with number 1, forward up, forward down. So let's see, where is that one? Here we go. So here we go. This is Haley Flickinger. She's actually probably our best chance to win a medal at the next Olympics in 2021, the 200 fly. So we're going to watch her. We're going to watch forward up, forward down. We're going to put it on loop. So this is slow motion. What I want you guys to look at is her chest and her hips. So when she enters, her chest is going forward and it's going down. When her hands exit, her hips are driving forward and up. So take a look at that. Chest, forward, down, pulls through, breathe, hips, forward, up. A lot of young butterflyers, or people who aren't as good as butterfly, they turn into a seesaw. They never press forward. They're either up or down, up or down. As you can see with Haley Flickinger here, she's always going forward. Hips are forward, chest is forward. Forward, down, forward, up. Forward, down, forward, up. She is always moving forward. There's no up and down. We're going to get into this when we talk about breaststroke next week. It's very similar. Forward, up, forward, down. We're going to watch it one more time. Check, make sure we're all good, and then move on to the next one. Let's watch this one more time. Chest goes forward and down. Hips go forward and up. If you've been to a practice where I've used a water polo ball to demonstrate that, remember this. If you press a water polo ball straight down, it's going to come straight up. But if you press it forward, if you press it down and away from you, it's going to go forward. It's going to go away from you. So it's just like this right here. You want to press your chest forward and the ball, and you'll go forward. You do not want to go up and down. All right. Make sure everyone's in here. Beautiful. All right. The next one. Double explosions. Let's see here where we're at here. All right. Michael Phelps, greatest swimmer of all time, greatest Olympian of all time. Let's watch him now. So double explosion refers to the very end of your pull. So when your hands are exiting, you should be kicking, and that is the double explosion. Your hands pushing the water back. At the same time, you have your kick. So it's going to be right there, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. Now, why this is so important is you need to be able to kick through your breath. So if you're noticing this, his second kick is right when he breathes. So he's kicking himself forward through his breath. That is very important. If you are a not so good butterflyer, odds are you're not having a good double explosion. You are standing still when you are doing your breath. That separates good from great butterflyers, is to be able to go forward while they're breathing. And part of that is by pushing the water back while they're kicking. So we're going to watch this a couple more times. This is really important. Right there. He's kicking himself through his breath as his hands are finishing. We're going to talk a little bit more about this later with our timing, but this is the big one right here. This is probably one of the few biggest things and fewest things that separate butterflyers. The ability to double explode. All right. On to the next one. Make sure everyone's in. Excellent. Got someone in. All right. Now the next one is breathe early with your eyebrows. Breathe early with your eyebrows. So let's see. We're going to take a look at Courtney Harnish. We've seen a couple of her videos. So if you can see this, her head is nice and low. Her chin is basically on the surface of the water. We've talked this before in my group. The air in the ceiling, the air in the rafters at Schroeder is the same air that's right above the pool. So you do not need to reach that head up towards the ceiling. That head is going to be nice and low on the surface. Chin's just going to be scraping it. You might even get a little bit of water, but that's fine. The early part, you can see she's doing a great job of. The early, you want to make sure that you are starting to breathe as your hands are about halfway through that pull underwater. So as your hands go by your face, you're going to want to start to breathe, and you can see her do that. As her hands are pulling forward, she has a nice double explosion. As she's pulling her hands forward, she's starting to breathe. And then when her head is going back down, when her hands are nice and long, so about the T position, she's getting that head back down. Breathe early, stay nice and low. And then when your hands get to that T position, you're going to want to be down. A lot of butterflies like to breathe late when their hands are back and their head is up when their arms are already trying to catch. So you want to breathe as your hands are going past your face. Breathe nice and low. Breathe early with your eyebrows. And then get your head right back down so you can keep that rhythm. Butterfly is all about rhythm. We're going to watch it one more time. Take a look. Head is nice and low. She's nice and early. Gets her head back down when she's in the T position. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Miss Courtney. Make sure everyone's in here. Oh, we got to get Trevor in here. All right, next one we're going to look at is stretch and snap. This is very similar we talked about with freestyle, with backstroke. So we're going to watch some here. These are a lot of different butterflies, but I want you to look at how much they're reaching out in front of them. They are stretching it out. When they enter, they're pressing their chest forward, and they are trying to grab as much water as possible. If they weren't stretching and snapping, they'd just be swimming in a box. They would just be fighting through the water. Enter, stretch. Enter and stretch. Grab as much water as you can. Stretch. There's actually some really good video in here. If you'd like to see some people not double exploding, you can see some in here as well. But stretch and snap. You want to enter, you want to reach, grab hold of the water and throw it back and snap. Michael Phelps and Chad Leclos. Gotta make sure you're stretching. That goes back to what we've been talking about stroke count and being long and strong. Butterfly, you don't want to spin. You want to be able to stretch out, grab as much as you can, throw it back as a part of your rhythm. Sarah Sjöström, the best butterfly in the world right now for women. We're going to watch some of her race video later. You're definitely going to stretch and snap in a tuner fly. All right, let's go on to the next one. So stretch and snap. Get as much as you can, and then snap. Make sure everyone's in. All right. Now, number 5, recover with a fling, not a lift. So we're going to look at this. We're going to go back to Haley Flickinger. Now, we're above water now. So this is another really important one. So we've talked about as you exit the stroke, as your hands push the water back, now we're going to talk about how to get your hands out. A lot of young butterfliers or inexperienced butterfliers, they lift their hands out of the water and they really pinch back in their back, and it's really stiff and tight. It looks really painful. There's lots of rhythm being lost. As you finish your stroke, you want to fling your arms out of the water. It shouldn't take any energy. It's a ballistic movement, not a power movement. Ballistic means you're just throwing your hands forward. You finished your stroke, you double explode, you push the water back, and after that, you just fling your hands forward. It's a throw. It's a throw, not a lift. One thing we're going to talk about a little bit later, but what you guys look at now is I want you to look at when her hands enter, how much of a splash is she making with her hands? Not with her body, not with her head or her arms, but with her hands. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But while we have this great angle, I want you guys to watch. So remember, it is a fling, not a lift. Throw the water behind you. Arms come up. It is a throw, a ballistic movement. Get that head down. This is another good example. Breathe early with your eyebrows. Early, head down. Great. Probably right in the middle of a tuner fly, so I bet she's a little tired. All right, make sure everyone's in here, then move on to the next one. Got to get Simone in. All right, next one, Snow Angel Recovery. So this one we're going to go to our good friend Caleb Dressel. He's a great name. Spelled a little weird, though. It's okay. I forgive him. So now we're overhead. This is Snow Angel Recovery. Oh, I skipped one. We'll come back to it. This is number 7. Snow Angel Recovery. So we guys to watch here. We're above him. So we're going to see what his hands and his arms look like as he's recovering. So remember, the recovery we just talked about is the part of your stroke that's over the water. So we're going to watch him here, how it's nice and long. Looks like a T, looks like a snow angel. His elbows aren't bent, and he's not diving his hands straight down. Everything is nice and in front of him, nice and long. His elbows aren't bent. Nice snow angel recovery. Looks like a T. Nice and relaxed, nice and long, no bend in his elbows. Hands are entering right outside the shoulders. Another thing I see with butterfly is the ones that struggle with butterfly are the ones also that have bent elbows and are diving down with each stroke. Notice on this, nice and long, outside the shoulders the whole time. He's not diving down. He's going forward with every stroke. All right, on to the next one, or I guess on to the previous one that I skipped. Make sure everyone's in. Good. All right, we're going to look at kick in, kick out. So this goes back to our timing that we talked about earlier. We're going to go back to Michael Phelps. So this goes back to our timing. You're going to kick your hands in. You're going to kick your hands out. Remember, kick your hands out. That's the double explosion that we talked about earlier. But you're kicking your hands out, kicking your hands in. So watch when his hands enters when he's kicking. Kick, kick, enter, exit, enter, exit, kick, kick, enter, exit, enter, exit. Let's take another look. This is all about timing. Kick out, kick in, kick out, kick in, kick, kick, out, in. Double explode, enter. Kick out, kick in, kick out, kick in, kick out, kick in, kick out, kick in, kick out, kick in. Another thing I see with butterflies that struggle is they do two kicks at the front of their stroke. So instead of kick out, kick in, they do both their kicks when their hands enter. I used to swim that way when I first learned butterfly. I would take one big stroke, I would kick my hands in, and I would keep my hands out in front, and I would kick again, then pull through. You want to make sure you kick out, kick in. I didn't learn how to do this properly until about my junior year of high school, a couple days before the sectional meet. I was not a good butterflyer. You want to make sure you have good timing. Kick your hands out, keep that breath forward, kick your hands in, chest goes forward. So you see when his hands enters, when he does that kick, his chest is going forward. When he kicks his hands out, he's kicking his breath forward and he's double exploding out the back. Kick, 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 kick. All right, on to the next couple catechisms. Thank you, Michael Phelps. So make sure everyone's in. Perfect. Now, the next three, we're all going to watch the same video. So number 8, fingers down, elbows up. Perfect. So make sure it's on loop. So fingers down, elbows up talks about when you're in the water. We worked on this at a practice once. I started seeing some people try to swim butterfly with this fingers down, elbows up over the water, and it was a disaster. So we're talking about fingers down, elbows up when you enter. So as you can see, when his hands enter, his fingers point at the bottom of the pool, and his elbows are nice and high. This looks just like freestyle. If he's on back, he'd look like that on his back. And if he's doing breaststroke like we're going to talk about next week, it looks very similar. Early vertical form, we've talked about it before. You want to enter, catch right away. As you can see, he's entering immediately, fingertips down towards the bottom of the pool, elbows are up, grabbing as much water as he can. They're all doing it. All three of them in this photo shoot. Fingertips down, elbows up. Ryan Lochte right by Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is the left. Ryan Lochte is the one right in the center. I hope we get to come back to this on the next couple because I want to talk about this one. I see a flaw in Mr. Lochte's butterfly. So the next one we're going to look at is catch above your head. It's number 9. So what I want you guys to look at here is when his hands enters the water, where he's catching the water. So his hands enter and he is catching right away. He's catching right away. Hands enter, fingertips down, elbows up immediately. A lot of times I see butterflies, especially young ones, press their hands down nice and flat and then catch the water when their hands like at their chest or at their hips. As soon as you enter, You want to catch right above your head. Hands in, fingers down, elbows up, right at the head, right at his head. Boom. Hands enter, fingers down, elbows up, catch at the head. Catch at the head. Now, this is really hard when you breathe, so you got to make sure that you are getting that head down fast. If you are a late breather or a long breather, you are never going to be able to catch above your head on your breath cycle. You're never going to be able to because your head's going to be up so long. You got to make sure you are getting that head down so you can catch above your head. You are losing water otherwise. You don't want to lose water. Boom, catches. And then the last one we're going to look at, the last one, number 10, pull underneath. So this is where Mr. Lochte needs to improve. We're going to come back to that in a little bit. So if you see this, they're pulling underneath their bodies. They're not going super wide. They're not going outside their body line. They are staying within their body line. They're catching the water, pushing it straight back, just like in freestyle, straight forward, straight back. Catch and throw. Fingertips down, elbows up above the head, straight back. Pull underneath your body. Catch, straight. Catch and straight. Now, I want you guys to keep this in mind when you watch Ryan Lochte's on this next one, because I want to see if you guys can see what I'm seeing. Catch, pull underneath. Catch, pull underneath. You don't want to go wide. Stay within your body line. All right, Mr. Lochte, you're up. Coach Cale's going to give you some helping tips. Now, if you can see here, Ryan Lochte, when he catches, his fingertips are a little wide. So his first motion is to press out with his hands, almost like a breaststroke skull. So he has to work a little bit harder to pull underneath his body. He goes wide first, then pulls in a little bit. So I hope you guys can see that. His first motion is to press out. Press out. He's entering and he's pressing out. Then he's grabbing hold of the water. So he probably could be a little bit faster if he just catched and grabbed and threw right away instead of sculling out just a little bit. All right, rolling. Perfect. So those are the catechisms. Now we're going to go back to the coach's corner, talk a little bit more about them. Now, the key to butterflies, you got to make the most out of your kick. It is a rolling motion, not a hinge at the hips. Like we talked about, butterfly is all about rhythm. Let's look at an example real quick. I know you guys aren't going to have the audio here, but I'd recommend watching this on your own time because it is great video. Great audio, excuse me. So the one on the bottom, that's good butterfly. That's good rhythm. Forward down, forward up, good hinge at the, and then up top, this is what a hinge at the hips looks like. This is a bad butterfly at the top. Notice how he's got a straight line, then he's got bad pointed toes. Which one's going to have more rhythm? The one on the bottom or the right, or the top, excuse me. You want to look like the bottom, not the top. Look at that. 3 lines as opposed to just 2. Down, flat, down. Chest is forward, hips are high. Boom. With all those different segments compared to just these. Got to make sure we are rolling through the motion, not hinging at our hips. Forward up, forward down, and hinge at the hips. So remember, it is a rolling motion. Thank you for making that. Now, how can you do this? You need to have a strong core and a flexible back. If your back is tight and you have a weak core, you're going to look like the top dude. So during this time, what are some things you can do to help these? Well, you can work on your core. Every day with our dry line, whenever we send it out, we work on core. And also, if you have a foam roller, that would be a great time to keep your back nice and loose. Keep it flexible, keep it long. If you're not, for 20 bucks on Amazon if you want to get one, but this would be a great time to work on your core and have a nice flexible back so you can look like the bottom, not the top. Now, we talked like this earlier about with Haley Flickinger's video. You want to place the hands, do not throw the hands in. So if you look at Caleb Dressel right here, he's entering the water. Look how little bubbles there are. There's almost none. Remember, you want to pull water, not bubbles. One of the good expressions is high hips, soft hands. So look at his hips are out of the water. They're nice and high. Hands are super soft. Now remember, he got the world record this summer going 49.5. So he's got to be moving fast. But look how soft his hands are, not making any bubbles, barely disturbing the water. You're going to make bubbles with your body and with your arms, but your hands got to be soft. High hips, soft hands. We talked about this the other day as a part of the underwater clinic. The up kick is what separates elite butterflyers. So the up kick, remember, that is the part where your feet are driving towards the surface, getting ready to snap back down. You want to feel the water on both sides of your feet. So both sides, that's top and bottom. By doing this, you got to practice different angles of kicking. Kicking on your front, kicking on your back, kicking on your side, and kicking vertically. Like we talked about the other day, if you are kicking on your side and you are not being able to follow the black line, if you're going one direction or the other, you are not having a good up kick. You are doing vertical kicking and you are straight up and down and you are moving either side to side or forward and back. You are not having a good up kick. You want to make sure they're nice and equal in power. When we quizzed you guys on this, everyone said the down kick should be the strongest. They should be equal. Just a lot of people overdevelop the down kick or underdevelop the up kick. So remember, up kick is what separates the elite butterflyers. Come on. There we go. All right, and finally, you want to have a race pattern for your breathing. We worked a lot on our breathing for the 50 free this year in age group 1 and junior 1. Your 50 fly should be very similar to your 50 free breathing pattern. It actually almost should be less. Could be even less. But if you're a 50 freestyler and you go 0-1, butterfly, 50 fly, you better go 0-1. Better go 0-1. 100 fly, it's usually 2 up, 1 down. Don't breathe on your breakouts. So that's 2 breath strokes, 1 no breath stroke. That's usually what it is. Some people go 1 up, 1 down. And then 200 fly, it's usually every cycle. But you got to be able to finish strong. So those last 3 or 4 strokes, it's going to be tough. Your body's going to be screaming at you, but you got to be able to finish strong. Got to be able to finish strong. So 50 fly, it's similar to a 50 free, if not less, because you're taking less strokes. 100 fly is usually 2 up, 1 down. Don't breathe on your breakouts. 200 fly, it's every cycle, as long as you can finish strong. So before we start watching some race videos, make sure everyone's in. Perfect. We're going to watch some good race videos here. I got a lot of good examples for you guys. So we got some Caleb Dressel. We're going to watch some Michael Phelps, some Sarah Soistrom, and we'll do some trivia time. Maybe we'll watch some Ellie Easton too. But the one thing I wanted to compare first are 50 flies to 100 flies. So we're going to watch Caleb Dressel first. This is his 50 fly where he set the American record this summer. Now I want you guys to watch how much he breathes. He was the first American ever to win the 50 fly at World Championships. Get this started. So he's in the middle of the pool. Lane 4. You can see because he's going to have a great start. Now, right away, you're not going to see him that much. He's kind of with everybody. But as the camera pans out, you're really going to see him take off. Look at that. Right there, lane 4, right in the middle. Still no breathing, no breathing. 50 fly, 22.3, American record. Even he's pumped about it. He didn't know he was going to go that fast. So he went 22.3, going 0 breaths. Now, remember, his 50 free, he went 21.0, and he took 0 breaths. So remember, the same breathing pattern for your 50 fly as your 50 free. Same breathing pattern. Once again, if you want to watch it with audio, with Rowdy Gaines talking, feel free. It's great. So we watched his 50 fly. Now we're going to watch his 100 fly where he took down Michael Phelps' world record. Go to the beginning. I like to watch these two. Once again, he's lane 4. This is in the semis, so he's really going to take – you're going to see him really go out fast compared to everybody. Now, Caleb Dressel does 1 up, 1 down, which is fine. But I bet you're not going to see him breathe on his breakouts. 22.8 first 50. Good underwaters, and he's gone. That kicked out to about 15. Didn't breathe on his breakout, and he's breathing every other. Look at him keep his head nice and low. You can see that nice snow angel recovery. Him kicking in, kicking out. And then last 6 strokes, doesn't breathe. Goes 49.5 for new world record. Took down Michael Phelps' world record. Woo! Awesome swim. Awesome swim. All right. We're going to do the same thing now, but we're going to look at Sarah Støjström. She has the world records in both the 50 fly and the 100 fly for women. She's from Sweden. Now, her, it's going to be kind of hard to see her right away because she's wearing a blue cap. Normally, she wears a yellow cap because she's from Sweden. So she's going to be right there. She's going to be in lane 4 again. And once again, you're going to kind of see her take over right away. So she's right there. You can see it. Right in the middle of the pool. She's going for it. Look at that. Still hasn't taken a breath yet. Still has not taken a breath yet. She also holds the world record in the 50 free. Shocker. She hasn't breathed in that either. 24.43, 50 fly long course. Insane. One of the craziest world records that I don't see getting broken anytime soon. 0 breath. Super aggressive. Real good swim. Now, we're going to watch her break the world record in the 100 fly. So she's in lane 4 again. Now, when you're fast, you're usually in lane 4. When you're breaking world records, you're usually in lane 4. So now she's wearing her yellow cap. Represents Sweden. Once again, she's breathing every other. That girl next to her is taking it out fast. Remember, she went 24.4 in the 50 fly. So she even could take it out a little faster. Didn't breathe on her breakout. Just look at how low her breath is. Look at that nice snow angel recovery. You can see she's making a little bit of splash, but that's more with her arms and her body, less her hands. You just see a slow-mo of her hands, not making a lot of splash with her hands. Little long on the finish. 55.6 world record. Great swim. Real good swim. And she's super happy. All right. We're going to watch 2 Michael Phelps races, and then we're going to watch a 200 fly short course, and then we'll do some trivia. So the 2 we're going to watch is Michael Phelps, the 2 probably the best 100 flies races. So if you remember, this is 2008. Michael Phelps was trying to get 8 Olympic gold medals. Michael Phelps is lane 5. Now, his big rival at the time was Milor Kavik. He's from Serbia. Swam for Mike Botta at Michigan, I believe. But it's these two guys. These two guys. Very different race strategies. Milor Kavik was a great 50 flyer. Michael Phelps, more of a 200 flyer. So this is where they meet. This is Michael Phelps going for his 7th gold medal. So if he wins this, he's good chance he's going to get 8. Like we talked about, fast and controlled, make a move, hunt and kill. This is a great example of that. But man, Phelps is just back there. He is probably going to turn 6th or 7th at this wall. I think he turned 6th or 7th, yeah. Good kick out. And here he comes. Breath is nice and low. Good job, double explosion. But here he comes. This race you definitely need audio for. Oh, he got him. It was 1/100th of a second. 1/100th of a second. And he's pumped. Definitely recommend watching this race with audio. It's too good. Rowdy Gaines. This is probably one of Rowdy Gaines' better races commentating. Let's see if you guys have probably have all seen the photo of this shot. Of the one that's above the water. It's coming in. Kavik was a little long on his finish. Michael Phelps took a little bit of a short stroke. Well, that's what 100th of a second looks like. Awesome. Good celebration, too. So, that was 2008. Now, the rematch, this is 2009. This is at Rome. This is the World Championships. So, this is the rematch. Kavik spent a whole year talking smack about how Michael Phelps couldn't beat him without a really fancy suit. So once again, here they go. Lane 4 and 5. Kavik in 4, Phelps in 5. You're going to see a very similar race. Kavik's going to take it out fast. And lane 8, that's Tyler McGill. So once again, Kavik is going to be out really fast. Now, his first 50 actually would have gotten 3rd in the 50 fly. So he went 22.6 on his first 50. But here comes Michael Phelps. About half a body length behind. Here he comes. Oh, he kicked it into gear. It's over. It's over. And that was the first ever 100 fly under 50 seconds. And he is hyped. Ryan Lochte, Surfer Bro. Now, once remember, if you break a world record at Schroeder, you can sit on the lane lines. But until then, do not sit on the lane lines. And he's excited. All right. Last race we watched before the trivia. We're going to watch a 200 fly by Ella Easton. Now, once again, I definitely recommend you guys looking at some of these races. They're really good. Real good. So we're going to watch Ella Easton's 200 fly. This is at NCAA's a couple years ago. She went 150.01. So she's going to be in lane 4. This is a great example of stroke count and race strategy. If you're able to counter strokes, each 25. She's right there in the middle, lane 4. Now you can see she's breathing every stroke already. First 25. She's in lane 4, remember. So lane 1 is at the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4. She's right there. And she's right next to Katie Drabot. And Louise Hansen is in lane 1. She's a sprinter from USC. So she turned about maybe 3rd or 4th. If you're able to counter strokes. She's still about third, right around that area. Good, consistent kickouts. She's the last one popping up. Well, except that girl down there. She was way ahead of her. Still breathing every stroke. All right, now she's about second. Good kick out. Still breathing every stroke, but it's nice and low. It's early and it's low. Tax her turn. All right, now she's in first. Now she's in first. She's taking this race over. Good kick out. Kicked out to about 12 and a half. Oh, she threw in every other breath right in the middle. Good kick out, about halfway again. And no one's catching her. So she was very consistent. I think her stroke count was about 8 for the last about 150. She did about 8 cycles each 25. Good kick out, about halfway, then 8 good strokes. So that's a great 200 butterfly right there. If you want to see another good one, I'd recommend watching this one for a short course. Mary T. That pool looks pretty familiar, I bet. We talked about Misty Hyman. We've seen the Malak 200 fly. I might talk about that more another time. But I'd go watch some of these. They're really good. Look for some catechisms like we talked about. Look for them having a nice rolling motion, having a strong core, flexible back. Watch what they do with their hands. And look at their up kicks if you're able to. If they have a nice underwater view, look at their up kicks. Sherman's in. Sweet. All right, now it's time for some trivia. So as always, put your answers in the chat. Just one answer. You don't need to spam 100 answers. So the first question is, who has the world record for the men's 100 fly? Is it A, Michael Phelps, B, Ryan Lochte, C, Caleb Dressel, or D, Ryan Murphy? Who has the world record for the men's 100 fly? Is it A, Michael Phelps, B, Ryan Lochte, C, Caleb Dressel, D, Ryan Murphy? You guys want another couple seconds? All right. Is C, Caleb Dressel. Now look at this great photo that I found. Like we talked about, his arms are in like that T position, that snow angel recovery. And look at his head's already going down. It's low and it's down. It's a great photo right here. Head is going down. Hands are nice and long. All right, next question. Which fly distance does an American have a world record in? Oops, should be for women. Which fly distance does an American woman have a world record in? The 100 fly, the 200 fly, both, or none? Which fly distance does an American woman have a world record in? Hundred fly, 200 fly, both, or none? Which fly distance does an American woman have a world record in? All right. None. None. Now, the last one was Mary T. We've seen her video many times at Schroeder. The video is in the PDF. She was the last American woman to have a world record in the 200 fly. Mary T. She ran for Lakeside in Kentucky. Mary T. All right. What is not a butterfly catechism? Hands moderate, fast, super fast. B, stretch and snap. C, forward up, forward down. Or D, breathe early with your eyebrows. What is not a butterfly catechism? Hands moderate, fast, super fast. Stretch and snap. Forward up, forward down. Or breathe early with your eyebrows. All right, let's take a look. It's A, hands moderate, fast, super fast. That is breaststroke. This picture is from World Champs last year. It's Haley Fliginger. We've seen some of her videos, silver medalist. And that is Katie Drabot, swam in Wisconsin, swims at Stanford now, and swam for Ozaki Aquatics. She got the bronze medal, 200 fly. The Drabot. And last, what separates elite butterflyers? Is it A, a good smile, B, a good upkick, C, a good start, or D, a good turn? What separates elite butterflyers? A good smile, B, a good upkick, C, a good start, or D, a good turn? Let's see if you guys are paying attention. B, a good upkick. So that picture, that is Ian Crocker, and he was the best American men hunter flyer until Michael Phelps came along. He was a real good butterflyer. Swam for Texas. I think he had the world record before Michael Phelps did. So real good butterflyer. Go watch some of his videos. Real good. All right, so that was the trivia for the day. See how this is doing. Sweet. So we are done presenting. All right, guys, thank you so much for attending. It was awesome. You guys did great with the questions. Now remember, play along with the Instagram. Connect with your friends. Have fun. Vote 100 free or 200 IM in the next one that's coming up. So thank you guys. Stay safe. Have fun. Be healthy. Wash your hands. And we'll see you guys soon.